Hello, church. Pastor Chris here. I'm in my office. I shared something with the church, a personal announcement last Sunday, and if you weren't there, I just wanted to share that with you. Recently, I asked the elders if I can take a health sabbatical or health and wellness sabbatical in 2026, this upcoming next year. And I say specifically a health sabbatical because it's very different than a regular sabbatical. A sabbatical is usually a time for a pastor to refresh and sharpen his mind, maybe take some classes, read some books, meet with other pastors and ministries, shadow some people they admire, things like that. So not a vacation. They always should have a specific purpose, which I have hoped to be able to take one around year 7 of our church plant. We're still in year 4, but I've asked specifically for a health or wellness sabbatical, which I want to explain a little bit to you and the heart behind it. If you've been with us, I've had my share of medical issues in the past 3 to 5 years. If you don't know, I had a brain tumor and surgery almost 3 years ago now, and recovery has been a challenge. And I've come to a point of realization that full recovery is not likely aside from a miracle of God. And I truly believe that He can do that. But basically, the tumor was a little bigger than a golf ball, and they removed it all, and it hasn't come back. Praise the Lord. Very, very thankful for that. But my brain hasn't fully recovered because they had to remove some brain cells with the tumor. And there's quite a bit of scar tissue in the brain because of the swelling that was leading up to the surgery. And as a result of the surgery, there's scar tissue from where they had to remove the tumor and make the cuts around it. So I still have a hole about the size of a cherry where the tumor was. And it spans the motor tract and the sensory part of my right brain. So brain paths basically can't be recovered through that area, because brain paths can't move through empty space. So basically the brain paths have to go the long way around from the motor tract or the sensory part of the brain. And they have to do that all day long, basically. From about 1 p.m., my brain's just exhausted after that point. And if I continue to push forward past that exhaustion, I'll actually start to have what's called a focal seizure. This is not the fall on the ground type of seizure. I remain fully aware and functional. It just really hurts, and there's sharp pain that comes right from where the incision took place, and they really just wipe me out. Basically what happens is the electricity in my brain stops functioning correctly, and instead of doing what it should, it simply shoots pain out in that area. And of course, they will stop once I'm able to lay down in a quiet, dark place. So from about 1 p.m. on, I have to be very careful. I have to be very sedentary to avoid these seizures. It's one of the reasons I can't drive a vehicle past 1 p.m. because it's just sensory overload with all the noise and the visual sensations of things passing by quickly and just a lot to take in. And so afternoons have become really hard. They can wear me out very quickly. And, I've got these special earplugs that I wear. Maybe you've noticed that. They help with the sensory overload and loud noises. It's why I can't usually be in the room there in our sanctuary at church for more than about 2 hours or so. Sometimes you have to see me head out soon after service, and it's just because it's sensory overload with all of the sounds and things like that are going on. It's why you will rarely see me at any function in the evening. I do my best when I can. I can save up some energy early in the morning so I can do things in the afternoon and evening. So I'm going to do my best on Christmas Eve. So pray for me. I really appreciate that. I also have nerve damage in my left leg as a result of the surgery when they removed the tumor. So I develop a limp as the day goes on. I can hide it pretty good when I have shoes on, but the longer the day goes on, the less my brain communicates with my left leg. And I've tried physical therapy, but that led to more seizures because I was still trying to work in the office on the same days I was doing the therapy, and it was just too much for my brain in the same day. So the physical therapist told me I needed to stop the physical therapy if it's actually leading to seizures. Anyway, that's kind of an update of where I currently am physically. And that is why I've asked the elders if I can have a sabbatical to focus solely on my physical health. Because if I'm in the church office until noon, I can't exercise before or after that without it resulting in seizures. And if I exercise, before work, I can't get everything done in the office that I need to for that day. And I would, love to be able to pick up on the physical therapy again, because I was actually seeing some results when I was doing it, but I ended up having to stop for obvious reasons. Excuse me. So really, I feel like I need some focused time to exercise, to start physical therapy again. And the goal is to get to a place where I'm at a new baseline really with my health that'll be maintainable when I come back to work, because getting in shape is the hardest thing. So I'm hoping to get in shape and then have something that I can come back to, a new baseline that I'm easily able to maintain. And also I thought this was a good time to do it because Ben Eisenman is still on staff. As many of you know, he's going to be heading out with his family in August, moving to Ohio, but he's still on staff, and so he can still help shoulder some of the load while I'm gone on a sabbatical. So basically, I came to the elders a little bit ago and requested a 5-week sabbatical, and they actually came back and said, why not 7? They really want to make sure I have enough time to focus on my health and to try and get back in shape again. So I'm going to begin this health sabbatical on January 5th. So I'll be teaching the first Sunday of January on the 4th, and my first Sunday back from the sabbatical will be March 1st. So that's 7 Sundays that I'm going to be gone from Abide. So I wanted to just give you a heads up on this and also ask for your prayer. This has really been a long road of recovery, and I'm hoping this will help me kind of hit the reset button for my health physically. Now, I want to really manage expectations here. I don't want you to expect me to come back in March and be fixed. This isn't to fix my brain or fix my capacities that I have when I get back. The hole is there permanently. Like I said, aside from a miracle of God, and I truly believe that He can do that. This is specifically for me to address the nerve damage in my left leg through physical therapy, and hopefully get in shape, to a point that I can maintain when I get back. So it truly is all about my health, to help, maintain things like cholesterol and blood pressure and stress levels, things that I used to manage through exercise. So will my brain be fixed when I get back? No, that is not the hope behind this. And then the last thing is what I really need most from you is prayer. I've had so many well-meaning people want to offer me medical advice and suggestions on treatments and supplements and alternate treatments and things like that. And I really do appreciate the care, and I really do, please hear my heart, I really do appreciate the sentiment behind those suggestions. But currently, I have a team of 6 doctors that I'm working with, from Arroyo Grande to SLO, Morro Bay, Atascadero, 2 neurologists I'm working with up at Stanford currently. And we've pretty much looked at every treatment and alternate treatment and supplement, known to mankind. If it can be Googled, I've Googled it. I've done the research to see what can help with my condition. But really what I need most and I desire the most is prayer. I can really feel it when you all are praying for me. There's a team of you I know that pray for me specifically on Saturday nights for good sleep and rest before Sunday mornings. And that has propped me up so many Sundays for me to be able to teach on some Sundays when really, otherwise I don't think I would have been able to. So I really feel your prayers. I covet your prayers. So please continue to pray for me and to continue to pray for the sabbatical. So again, it'll start on January 5th. It's not to fix my brain, and please pray. Those are kind of the main points I really want you to get from this. If you have any questions, please feel free to grab me on the next couple Sundays leading up to the sabbatical and ask me any questions that you might want. I'd be very happy to answer those. Thanks for listening, and have a blessed day.